All right. So I'm so excited for this. There's going to be a few of us talking and just sharing some tips at first and a little bit about ourselves, and then we're just going to wait for Pam because I know she's finishing up the Show Me the Money call right now. But we're just going to go around and speak for a few minutes each. Some tips, maybe something that we've overcome that has to do with our money mindset throughout our experience. And hopefully you guys can take some good stuff out of this because I know there is going to be a lot of amazing things that are going to be said. But anyways, if you guys don't know me, I am Emily Worsing. I'm not Cassie. I'm just using her Zoom. I'm an ambassador diamond. I've been in this business for a little over 4 years, and this is one of my most favorite subjects ever. I'm just going to get right started into it. So why it's one of my favorite subjects is because when I first started this business, my whole entire life, I started at 21. It was always a struggle. And Kay, I'm sure you might hear me. If I go past 3 minutes, just let me know, maybe type in the chat or something. It was always a struggle. I grew up in a family that it was a struggle with money, like almost every day. I just heard something about a struggle that had to do with money, um, I mean, from my parents to my siblings to more family, it just was always in my life, right? So coming into this business, just being a broke college student, I wanted to make an extra income, and it was only $300-400 a month to help me get through college. But I did quickly see that vision, and I was like, I want to make ambassador money. Like, I want to make 5 figures a month, and I wanted it, and I knew I wanted it, but I knew that I was also nervous, and I didn't know how, and I didn't know why I was nervous to make a lot of money, even though I really wanted to. So, as I started growing a team and growing in the business, I found out that I had a lot of money blocks, and I still do to this day, guys. Like, I still do. It's always going to be an ongoing thing, but it's going to get easier, right? It's going to get easier for you to get through it. So, for example, I have a few notes that I thought that just came to my mind super quickly with what has personally helped me get through these things. So what I may say may not relate to you guys. So that's why I'm really excited to hear other people. But number one that I have is not avoiding looking at my bank account and really breaking down my expenses. Like, I don't know why, it was really hard for me to like look at my bank account and really get nitty gritty with my expenses, what I can spend, what I'm saving, and focusing on my goals. Okay, I need, X percent in my checking, X percent in my savings, and really being specific. That was one thing that was huge for me. I don't know why I never did it, but guess what? That's a money block, guys. So that's one huge thing. Two, valuing myself and understanding that it's okay to want money. And I'm red, I'm also yellow, so I love money. Like, I just love it. I just want to make money, and it's not for selfish reasons, but sometimes in the back of my head I'm like, but is it though? Right? So, coming to realization, understanding that there's nothing wrong with wanting to make money, right? And that's one of the hardest things that I've really had to get through, and I'm still getting through till this day, to be completely honest. But going along with that, number 3, I guess 2.5, is but taking a look at my blueprint, right? So what is your blueprint? What is your past? Guys, you have to confront it no matter how hard it may be, right? If you don't confront it, it's gonna be really hard to get through it. So why do I feel this way about money, right? And I was telling you guys from the start, it's just, we always struggled forever. We just always struggled. The first 20 plus years of my life, it was always a struggle. So of course I feel this way. Like, of course I do. But I had to really confront it and look back and see what was affecting me in order for me to take that next step and go for it. Oh, I'm done already. Okay, one more thing. Talking about the struggle and not feeling guilty about it, forgiving your past, and then honestly taking it step by step. So recreating your past, confronting it, and changing your story. All right, dang, I could have gone on forever. Okay, Okay, do you want to go next? I need to find you though. Hold on. Okay, I think I unmuted you.
Hi. Oh, sure. I'll go next. I just texted mom. I just saw that they just finished up the Show Me the Money. So I'm super excited to share with you guys. I wanted to start this Zoom out tonight with let me start my timer. I wanted to start my section off with this book. This is absolutely one of my favorite all-time money mindset books ever. It's Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And this is by T. Harv Eker. And I wanted to share this little snapshot with you, just for the part about, I feel like changing your programming is so important. And that's something that Emily talked about. We all have a money mindset story, something that we learned from, usually it's our parents, from former bosses, different things like that. So the first step for changing your programming is the awareness that you have about your money mindset. So this says, write down all of the statements that you've heard about money, wealth, rich people, when you were young, especially when you were young, like, oh, we don't have money for that. Money doesn't grow on trees. Only the rich get richer, just things like that. Things that just really kind of got in your head. I know, like for me, my mom and I have talked about that. Having like a very conservative parent and having a non-conservative parent can be conflicting sometimes, because you're like, well, are we spending or are we not spending? And learning what your programming is for yourself and rewriting that. Write down how you believe these statements have affected your financial life so far. So how have they affected you? In what ways have they held you back from taking the next step in your life financially? Disassociate yourself. Okay, mom, we see ya. Disassociate yourself with it. Can you see that these thoughts represent only what you learned about money? Okay, can you see that you have a choice now to be present and be different about your mindset about money? Then you're going to declare your shift. Okay, this is what's so important. What I heard about money isn't necessarily true. I choose to adopt new ways of thinking that support my happiness and my success. That's your declaration. What I heard about money isn't necessarily true. I choose to adopt new ways of thinking that support my happiness and success. And then he always says, touch your head and say, I have a millionaire mind. And that's your reprogramming. So I love this one. Now, I want to give this task to all of you that really helped me shift my programming. And that was, what amount do you want in a month? Write that in the chat right now. What is your dream amount? What is that number? What is the very first thing that comes to your mind? What is that number? I want to know. Put it in the chat. What comes to mind first? Do it quick. Do it quick. Oh my God, I love this. Okay, now, here's what I want you guys to do. This is so crazy. I love it. All right, so this is what I want you all to do. This is your homework assignment tonight. This is when you get off this Zoom, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go spend that amount of money. I want you to go spend it. Whatever that is, I want you to go spend it. What do I mean? Write that number at the very tip top of a piece of paper, okay? And go spend it. Go actually online and shop, okay? What would that beautiful new couch for your living room cost? Go find it. What would that car cost? What would those clothes cost? What does that Gucci belt cost? Go spend that money, okay? You're going to pretend spend, okay? Pretend spend. You're not really spending. This is all pretend play, but this is going to shift your mind. Friends of mine that have done this, myself included, and my timer's up. Friends that have done this, and myself included, have realized, wow, I have money left over. They thought all their dream stuff that they wanted, they go, I have money left over. It's going to shift your programming to believe you're worth that. Okay, so that's one of your assignments. I know we're going to have so many tonight, but that's what I had to share with all of you. And then let's say Stacy, maybe you want to find Stacy next, Emily. Who can you find?
You should be good, Stace, to unmute.
Hey. Okay, is this not awesome already? I'm like, okay, notebook is full. Like, I'm ready to go. But I know for me, it's just this simple question, simple statement. I'll be so fast. It's something my pastor said that changed in my mind so much. It's this. The enemy is speaking something, God is speaking something, and I get a vote. I get to vote who I listen to. You have the power to vote who you're going to listen to. So in your mind, if what you're hearing, and this goes self-value, everything from there, if what you're hearing does not line up with what the word of God says you are, don't give it your vote. You are in control of your vote, and you are everything he created you to be and then some. And so you got to get in that word and line it up and line your belief up and speak, I am this. I am, and speak your I ams. I'm fast. That was it.
Sorry, trying to multitask, but I think I unmuted you, Christy.
Yes, you did. Hi, guys. Okay. Again, I saw Pam, so I'm going to be super fast. I could talk all day about this, but a couple things came to mind. So do what Kay said, but when you actually start to make the money, don't spend it all. The reason why I say that is because I think that a money mindset also does not just have to do with how much you make, but how smart you are with what you make. It's okay to spend. It's okay to have nice things. But if you make $10,000 a month and then you spend $10,100 a month, you're still in debt. You're still broke. Like, you still have the same money mindset. You might have learned how to work this business. You might have an amazing team. So you might be making hella more money, but your mindset didn't actually change. So by the next day or by the next year or by the next month, you're still going to be broke because you still have that broke mentality. At the retreat, we're talking about how, the wealthy do experiences. The rich buy things. And of course, I like to buy things also, but it's that shift in your mindset of being like, okay, what's important? And to me, importance is never having to stress because I have multiple six figures in my savings. Like, I don't even have to flinch. I can talk to people with an excitement for them because I know that I'm good. And as long as I talk to you about your goals and yourself, then at the end of the day, it's going to come back to me tenfold. We type 10%. That's not saying you have to do that. But I think that's a huge thing for money mindset too, because like, if I was making 100,000 and I just was like, woo, okay, I'm just adding it to my bank account. At the end of the day, I might feel a little selfish, right? So I always suggest, like, however or whoever, maybe it's your family member, maybe it's your mom, like, give some because it's going to come back to you tenfold and you're going to feel so much better about it. So daily steps, you guys, money mindset, you can't just read Kay's book and then you're going to be like a new woman or man. You have to do something every single day. That is what we talk about, that personal development. My personal development isn't really like how to work it works. Like, we have that all over YouTube. It's, why am I worthy? Why can I make more? What am I capable of? Like, that's what my personal development is. And at the end of the day, that is your money mindset. That is saying, I love the book, Think Like a Billionaire, Become a Billionaire, because, and Sun Stand Still. Those are like my two favorites, because literally it's saying like, I'm worthy. It's okay to want more, because you guys, just like what they say on the airplanes, you literally have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others, right? So how many of you guys have ever felt super stressed in your life about money, family, something going on, but all the time you were thinking about how you can help someone else? You're not. That's never going to happen. It's, if you are not taking care of first, then guess what? You're never going to think about anyone else except for yourself, because you're always just going to be wallowing in your own misery, your own stress, your own debt. So make a lot, but be smart about it, and just know that you're not going to jump off this Zoom and be a whole new woman, like, or man, sorry. But you need to do something every single day. You need to read something every single day and listen to something every single day. And eventually it will change, but you're going to be constant. When I hit 20,000 a month, I had to change my mindset to 30,000. When I hit 30,000, I had to change my mindset to 40. It's going to be constant unless you don't want to be constant. Nothing in life is constant except for change. And so you're either going up or you're going down. So I always want to go up, right? So I'm always going to be growing it in some way positive forward. So that's all I have. But I will write those books for you guys in the chat. Can't wait for Pam. Just waiting for her.
Okay, I think we just have Kelly. That's last, I think.
And I'm sure my only thoughts are, I didn't know that I had a poor money mindset until after going ambassador. And like when Kay was just now saying about now you write what you want monthly and now go spend it. I'm like, I would not even know, I might spend $1,000. Like, I'm like, hey, I'm like a work in progress. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind to me, Harv Eker, that was like, now I'm on to the next one, Emily's book. I'm like, hey, I got some room to grow. You want to know some good indicators? Do your underwear got holes in them? Are your shoes falling apart? Because y'all, if you looked in my drawer and you looked in my closet, me and Emily joked about this the other day, but I'm like, I've had the same underwear since before having my kids, like since before getting married. I'm like just now going, Andrew's like, baby, you want to get some new underwear? Those are falling apart. I'm like, oh, all right. Yeah, I guess I can. But man, I got to spend $27.50 at Victoria's Secret for 5 pairs. Who wants to do that? That's expensive. I'm just saying, are your shoes falling apart? That's how you know, like, okay, yeah, you got to grow your value. You got to grow, your thinking. There's a lot of things that got to elevate on the inside. And what's good on the inside is good on the outside. I came from the trailer park. My mom made $8.50 an hour, single mom. I mean, like, I was like, hey, I got underwear. That's a good thing. That's a blessing, right? And growing up in the Bible Belt, it was like, if you want more than what you need, then you're being materialistic or something's wrong with you, or you have an incorrect view on things and on money. So coming into this going, you want to get, go ambassador and I'm like, I don't want to look at the E-suite. In fact, my husband looks at it. I know it makes me a nervous wreck. I'm like, I don't know what to do all of this. Okay. I'm a good giver. That's about it. I'm good at giving and I'm not good at spending. So, but there are little indicators along the way, which I know Pam is going to talk to us tonight about too. So if you're going, hey, I'm sure I'm a little off base. I don't know even where to begin with it. That's where I was too at the beginning of the summer. And a great place to start was Secrets of the Millionaire Mind for me. And I'm just like, hey, we're just going to keep on working on it. That's where I'm headed.
Awesome. Okay. I'm so excited. This has been so amazing already. Pam, I think I unmuted you.
Kelly, get you some underwear. Make sure they're expensive, lacy, girly, all of it. Get you some underwear.
I love it.
And if you need to, you can get some of those big white ones that are really self-absorbent, because we're going to need them for 2020, because we're not going to have time to go to the bathroom. That's how fast we're going. All right, Miss Kay, what do you got for me?
Do you want me to read some off? I got it. Okay. All right. So the first question that we came together with that a lot of people are asking was what's your best advice and a good way to start working on growing your money mindset? So for example, any like exercises. Do you guys hear me? Uh-oh. Do you hear me now?
Okay, so I didn't hear a word you were saying. Can you speak up?
Do you hear me now?
Can y'all hear her? I can't.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, do you want to try talking?
I've got my volume all the way up.
Can you hear me, Mom?
I could hear everybody else really well.
Mom, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. All right, Emily, send me what you got in our chat.
I posted it in the chat.
Okay,
just write it in the chat real quick and I'll look at that.
Got it. Okay. What is a really good way to start growing your money mindset? So what is some of when you look at the first exercises, you do the one where you do the big sheet, little sheet. That's a great way. But when we're specifically talking about money, what would you say? So for example, exercises that can help us see blocks, maybe that we don't even notice that we do or say that could be holding us back.
I just had a really good conversation with somebody earlier, and this is one of the things that I do when you all ask me for a private coaching call. And usually it's around money, where the block is. Well, we think that that's it. But again, it goes back to Kelly and her underwear. We're going to probably be talking about this underwear all night. How you do anything is how you do everything. It's all relative. And so not taking care of yourself, even in that small way, pinching pennies in that small way. I'm not saying go buy 5 pair, buy a pair. Get a new pair of underwear, get a new bra, get some shoes, and not going into debt over it either. I'm not saying it needs to be Louis Vuitton. When we feel good about what we have on, we project that. We truly project that. So when I was coaching earlier today, I was listening very intently, and I write down the words that I'm hearing. And I just had this conversation with someone this weekend who kept saying, I'm just stuck. I am stuck. I'm just so stuck. And over again. And I'm just sitting there just 1 time, 2 time, 4 time. So she's stuck, and will remain stuck because that's what she's saying after her I am. That's, what Stacy said earlier. What are your I ams? In the Bible, it says, God said his name is I am that I am. Write this down. Now, are we not made in his image? Are we not made in his image? So I am that I am. I am that person who won't spend $1 on a pair of underwear. I am that person who can't earn beyond $5,000 a month. I am that person that is not a good recruiter. I am that I am stuck at Double Diamond. That I am. So you're calling it out. You're calling it out. So pay attention. If awareness was my word for this year. Next year it's accelerate. And I'll talk about that. Okay, don't let me forget that. But awareness. Pam, what are you saying? What are you thinking? Because that's what you're getting. And some of it was great. My things happen so quickly for me now. I mean, I was just telling Kay and a couple people this experience that just blew my mind. Just on Thursday, I'm like, not only did I Google it, but it showed up 2 hours later in the most fluky way possible of finding this item that I was just curious about, but then said, well, I'd really like to have that. Not I deserve it, not how much is it, not can we afford it. I just want that. I just really want that. I'd really like to see it first. And then it shows up in the most unconventional way several hours later, and I got it. And I'm still like, wow, what else do you want? What else do you want? So if I had attached, well, they don't have a store here that carries that. Or I shouldn't be thinking about myself, it's Christmas. Or, that's a little pricey for that item. Do I really want it? And we talk ourselves out of it before we even get there or get close to it. So here's your homework. You've got days here that we're working on our vision boards and our dreams and our journaling. So why not become very aware of what you're thinking and what you're saying, even to the point where you might have a conversation with your spouse and say, hey, call me out. I'm going to give you permission just for the next 48, 72 hours. After that, don't do it unless you really see something, because, I don't want any fighting going on through the holidays, but also be listening to them. Dave said something the other day. We do a lot of gives back, and we do a lot of angel investing for startups, things that we feel very passionate about. And so this group asked us for X amount. And I could just see like the color draining out of him, because Dave has to work on his money mentality. He was raised where the rich get richer, Bible Belt you were talking about. The way that they teach that is just so backwards of what it's supposed to be, that poverty mentality. And so when he said, well, we just don't want to put our cash into something like that right now. We just don't want to think about that. He's always thinking about his cash. And I said, Dave, is that true? Is that really true that we don't want to put this cash that we have into that investment? Is that really true? Or are you feeling like you can't give it up? You don't want to, you're afraid that that cash is going to go away. You're afraid that you're not going to have any more cash. And he had to really think about it. He goes, that is really like, why did they even say that? Why did I even think that? So we're not aware. These are programs that were programmed into us by parents, by teachers, by peers, by siblings, that was programmed into them. And so when you go back and you'll be with your family over the holidays, take your book and write down the stuff they say, because they're saying what you have been hearing most of your life, like your mom and your dad and your siblings. And don't do it to be I gotcha, I caught you. They're not going to understand any of this. Do it so that you will know some of those thoughts and beliefs that have been programmed within you in their subconscious. You're not even aware of it. I had to really work on myself, and I'm continuing to work on myself. We did not grow up with a millionaire mindset, but I'll tell you what, my dad was instrumental in bettering himself. He didn't listen to the naysayers. He didn't allow the mocking that he had with his siblings to stop him from being the man that he became. He had to overcome a lot of obstacles to do this. And so I grew up in that environment of, you can do this, you can be this. And then my mother always, she's a little bitty tiny thing. She's only 5 feet tall, and she would put her hands up on my face as she's looking up at me and saying, you can do anything you want. You can be anyone you want. And my mother did not grow up hearing that. This is something she wanted for her child. This is something she felt, I didn't get, but I want this for my child. What a blessing that you can be to your children. Because when I think about raising my children, I didn't want them to grow up hearing some of the things that I heard, seeing some of the things that I saw. I wanted them to grow up knowing that if they believed in something, they took action based off those beliefs, that potential was there. But it had to be actions taken based off those beliefs. And so, sometimes you would hear your child say something, which I have, and I'll point it out in a very kind and loving, motherly way. But is that really true about you? And when you ask somebody, is that really true about you? And sometimes I ask myself, Pam, is that really true about you? Somebody can hurt your feelings, you not get invited to something, or you hear them over in the corner snickering. And, Sherry Lynn said something profound the other day about she would be at parties with John, and she would be with these high-end women, the junior leaguers, and she would downplay what she did. She didn't honor it and honor herself. And I'm just doing this little networking thing, when she probably made more money than all those guys put together. Who knows? Or all the women put together. And she realized what she was doing. And if she probably looks back on her life, that might have been one of the ways that she was raised. Downplay it. The woman stays low. She doesn't talk too much. This is an epidemic, especially at age 40 plus, where we were told, don't be too loud. That's too bitchy. And so there are things that I've had to work on to not think that being loud would be being bitchy, and let him make the money. And we all know that we can contribute to our households in a big, big way. So what does this have to do with money? Money is energy. It is energy. It's flowing, and it wants to flow right into you. It is looking for someone to honor it, to respect it, to invest it, to allow it to be your talent. We have the parable of the talents. And the one that took the stones, and I think they were stones, something like that, and or whatever their rubles were, whatever the money was back then, and invested it. And then one invested a little and one hid it. Are you hiding? Are you hiding your talents? And then taking, one of the biggest things that you could do, that I did at the end of every year, is I called out what my next year income was going to be. I called it out. Dave and I would be sitting at the accountant's office, projecting taxes for the next year, because we paid quarterly then. And I had to prepare for that. This is where a lot of you get caught up. You don't prepare for your taxes. And then at the end of the year, you're like, oh my gosh, I owe all these taxes. Well, you've owed it on every dollar you've made. Let it just be a part of that. I hope you have to pay millions of dollars in taxes, because that means you've made multiple millions of dollars. So don't down taxes. When people say, oh, I didn't pay anything in taxes, well, that means you didn't make any money. I've never tried to run from that. So I would sit there with him and I would call it out. And for several years, he would just get stone cold. He would be like looking at me like with darting eyes, and we could get in the car and he goes, why did you say that? Do you know that accountant, he is going to take that money, he's going to get it ready for taxes, and you don't know you're going to be making that. You have no idea you're going to be making that. And I'm like, I'm making it. That's my projection for 2020. I am making that. Well, after the third year, he's like, what are we gonna make? How much are we gonna make this year? I'm like, what, you speaking French to me now, baby? No, you gotta call it out. How much are you gonna make next year? And don't be afraid of it. Because it's out here, look, it is out here in full on abundance. No one has the market on this, okay? They print more if they need it. Believe me, they're printing it like crazy. I want them to print it all for us. Let's cause a economy to just be roaring. Let's create more jobs for people than ever before. When you start purchasing homes and cars, you're feeding the economy, and you can pay for them. You can pay for them. It's all is relative. So it's out here, it's looking. Now here is what you're advertising. you're advertising in a one or two ways. Lack. Well, it's not going to come. I'm stuck. Well, it's right there. See, it can't break through. It cannot break through. It cannot come into your account. It will not go into your check. There will be just enough people coming in and out of your It Works business, have you not noticed, to keep your check exactly the same, because that's where your money mindset is. Have you not noticed that? And when you weren't focused on lack and were into this unlimited possibility realm, when you first got started and it was just flowing like crazy, people coming in, people coming in, people coming in, people coming in, because you were in a state of abundance. You didn't know how or what or when. You just knew it. You just felt it. You wanted it. You had that fairy tale look about you and energy, and people were coming. And then you stopped. You looked around and you said, how did I get here? I'm tired. I can't keep going like this. You weren't tired. You loved it. You never felt more energy in your life. Energy was coming from somewhere within you, helping you build and helping you. It's the best state you'd felt in a long time. I call it the honeymoon effect. That's what I feel like this is in the beginning. Now, we can't keep up that kind of energy all the time and be able to take care of our household, but we can shift it into a different kind of energy. And that's where you're almost all are at now, if you've been in for a while. And what do I mean by that? A knowingness, a complete knowingness. So my word for you, because you are part of me in this business, is acceleration. It is acceleration. So what do I mean? I feel it within every fiber of my being that 2020 is the point of acceleration. That we are going to have astronomical growth that doesn't just start and stop. It continues through 2020 on into 2021 and 2022. It continues. We've got the foundation. We've got the base. Now we've got to get the words right. We've got to get the feelings right. We've got to get the knowingness right. So take your head out of how am I going to do this, and put your head into it's mine. I know it can happen. I know how to bring in distributors and customers. I want the flow back where they're coming to me. They're coming to me. They're coming to me. So I have to open up my abundance channel. I want you to think of yourselves as a channel, like a TV channel, like a commercial. So is your commercial saying, I am stuck? I'm just, nobody's working. My team is lazy. That's your commercial. Well, here's the money. Hold off. She's stuck. Nobody wants in. Don't go to her. Let's go over here. Let's go over to here. Let's go to Christy. Let's go to Cassie. Let's go to Kay. Let's go to Stacy. Let's go to them. Their channels are open. Their channels are open. They're saying, I am a massive recruiter. Why not be one? Who said you only needed 3 people? Build the steps to success out 10 times. Say you can handle it. You know why? Because you're going to put them all in together on a Zoom and train them all at one time. And you're going to see who wants to play. That's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to put them all together. You can yes, more. I can handle it. Bring it on. So there's a guy, an artist. He's in his 50s. He loves art. He loves to paint. And he goes to art shows to sell his paint, his art. And he sits behind his table and he's thinking, nobody ever buys my art. Look, they get really close to the table and then they move away. I haven't sold any art in so many years. I don't even know if I can do another show. I don't even know why I show up. So we had some counseling. And she said, tell me about your art. And he got all juicy and excited about his art. She says, tell me about the shows. Oh, nobody wants to buy my art. Nobody even comes up near my table. I just sat there and know that they're just going to pass right by when I've got beautiful artwork right here. And she said, well, that's your commercial. Don't come over near my table. Nobody wants to buy my art. She said, you are projecting that. She said, come out in front of your art. You are the artist. Come out in front of your art. Come here and see what I've got for you. Look at my artwork. Look at this painting. Let me tell you what was the inspiration behind this painting. Let me tell you about the colors that I used. Let me tell you about the brushes. Let me tell you the number of hours that I put into this painting. It's just beautiful, isn't it? And so he did that. He sold almost every piece he had at his very next show and continued to do this. He said, it took me 50 years to understand. So stand out in front of your pop-up. Stand out in front of your social media. Stand out and say, come in and look at my products. Look at my new neck. Look at my beautiful hair. Look at the number of mamas on my team that have come home with their babies. Here's the list. This one was 23, had 2 kids. This one was 27, had 3. Why aren't you listing that? Here they all are. Would you like to be a part of this list? That's your advertisement. And then here they come. Here they come. I just love it. It's not like, oh, I can't afford anything. Oh, I had the business growing, but then I got stuck. Well, I don't want to be on her team. I want to be, you know what I'm talking about. You know, because you know when you've been on. All right, so how do I get on? Well, you're going to have to get up every day and turn it on. You're going to have to turn on your channel. You're not going to feel like it. You're going to be tired. Your kids are going to be sick. Somebody has said something to you. You got 3 no's the day before, 5 no's before that. But you know what? Decide what channel you are going to turn on. And you turn on the one, you stand in the mirror and you say, I am enough. I am enough. I am that I am. I am double black diamond. Now, what does that mean? I'm making $200,000+ a month. I am ambassador diamond. I'm above average. I am making $40,000 a month. I am triple diamond. I'm above average. I am earning 10,000 plus a month. Make sure you add plus on the end of everything because you're limiting if you don't. Remember, it's all out here. And you know what? It's flowing to me. If y'all don't want any, that's fine. I am really good at taking care of it. I appreciate it. I value it. I invest it. And I give it away. All of it. So I am trusted. I am trusted with money and finances. I am trustworthy with people and honor who they are and where they're from and where they're going. I don't make judgment calls. I appreciate my team. I love my team. I give back to my team, but I am a serious builder. And the people on my team know that. And the people on my team are also serious builders. We have leveled up. We are career network marketers. We are career work at home moms. We are perfection at what we do. I am that I am. That was a long answer to a simple question.
Oh man. Woo! Okay, I'm on fire. All right, next question. What is your best advice when you're surrounded by friends and family? Great topic for this season of the year. What is your advice? Because I know we can relate. I know we can. Even friends, you know, when you think about it, Mom, the friends in our life, you know, as we start to expand, we start going, oh, who's going to be in my circle now? And this is the time to up-level that circle. So what is your best advice for dealing with people in our life, friends and family that have a small money mindset?
Yeah. You know, because Kay, you've witnessed this. You've witnessed me in these situations. And we're because we're so loving and kind, and we appreciate the friends that we have and have had. And they were definitely in our lives at certain times when we were very much equal as far as the playing field. As far as, you know, you meet friends, like we have a true set of friendships that we've had for 40 years. I mean, I'm very proud of these friends and friendships that we have. If I called any one of them, they would get on a plane and they would get here and be here for me. So what I had to understand, a lot of them initially joined the business and then left. You know, they just gave up. And I could have become bitter or just dropped them, but I valued what they brought to me in a different time of need. And I am so grateful for those friends at this point, because there's times when I need to get away from everything and go back to those times that we had together and reminisce and be together. But I also know I can't hang there. I can't stay there. That's a period. That's a 2 to 3 days, because I start to hear their lack and the things that they do and still continue to do where there's no growth. So I make sure that I protect myself, but I also make sure that I honor those relationships. Same with family. Let's face it, we can't pick them. They are in our lives and we want to love on them and appreciate them. But you've got to stand up for yourself if they are being hurtful or disrespectful. And you can simply say, look, Mom, I'm doing this. I know you don't understand it, and you may never, but I am doing this for my family. And all I ask is that you do one thing. You become my customer. You become my customer. You purchase something from me so that you know that the products are sound, that it's good, that you experience it. So, because I think that will make you feel better. Because here's what's going on. They're confused. Suddenly, you're excited about something that they don't understand. So they think you've joined a cult. You know, they think that you've joined, oh, they've taken her money or his money. I remember when Uncle Bob did one of those things and he lost his shirt. No, he didn't. Uncle Bob joined and sat back and did nothing, hoping he was going to get rich. We all know that story. So I'm not going to argue with them because they don't know what we know. They haven't been to Costa Rica. They haven't been to a conference. They haven't been on our Zoom. And so they're thinking this is all too weird. She is way too excited. He is way too excited about what they're doing. So I don't understand it. So they can get a little, almost like they put a wall up. And what I realized with that was just confusion. And I just don't want to take the time to try to explain it or change their mind. So I just go off and make millions of dollars. That's it. And those girls, now I am saying this out of the most profound honor and respect, but I had the opportunity to purchase every one of those girlfriends, which there were 10 of them, a Louis Vuitton, and they never had one. None of them had one. Best day of my life. And it wasn't about showing off. It was about giving back to them for all that they had given to me. They were there as a babysitter if I needed it. They were there as a friend if I had a marriage issue. They would, like I said, get on a flight if I needed. So there are friends, certain friends that you want to honor and value. There are certain ones you want to get rid of and cut the ties, which I did right away. Once I woke up to what I wanted, some were too toxic and I had to let them go, or I don't know what would have happened. I might not be here today. Some are just, and some you're sleeping with. And at times they can be very disagreeable, very ornery, as we would say in the South. And you just got to put your head down and go to work. Because if it's the man in your life, there's no gray with them. It's black and white, or I should say it's green or no green. When you start making the green, start getting that comma in your check, then they start backpedaling because all they see is my wife's working all the time. She's way too excited about this. And now she's no longer as excited about me. And that's what they see because their wife has suddenly changed. She's suddenly animated. She's suddenly excited. Well, she was like this when we first got married. What happened? She's doing this all over again, but it's not with me. And they don't realize that you woke up into something that's got huge potential and it could change the family dynamics. So I had to sit down with Dave. I had to look him in the eye and I had to say, I am committed. I am doing this. I know you don't see the potential right now, but I'm doing it. And I'm staying in and I'm staying the course. Now, I did it. Now, had I said that and not worked consistently every day, they see that too. And that causes confusion. So have that conversation, but mean it. Truly mean it. And let them see your work ethic. Let them see a difference in you. So first of all, honor yourself, decide what you really want and stay true to that. And then the ones that are around you that are really, really toxic, wanting you to hang out, maybe go have some drinks on Friday night, is that going to help you build your business? If it's once every couple months, it's okay. But if they're wanting to do that every Friday night, maybe that's not. Maybe that's something hard to look at. All right, what's next, Kay?
Oh, good. Okay. I love these two next questions. I feel like we're really building up here. This is so good, and I so respect this question. What if you're doing the writing, like you're writing it, you're doing the work, you've got your notebook, your pen to paper, you're doing your affirmations, you're declaring, I have a millionaire mind. I'm like, I'm doing the work. And you're speaking it, but you're not actually believing it. How do you get to the place where you actually believe the words you're speaking? Because I know this is going to resonate with like 99.9% of us.
Okay, so here's what you're doing. All right, you're in that Zen position. I did my journal. I wrote the words. I'm saying I am enough. I am $1 million earner. I am Ambassador Black Diamond. And where's my money? But where's my money? Because you didn't do what's even more valuable. If you are that, where's the action? Where's the action? most of you, if you truly would admit it, you really aren't working. You're playing around in it. You know, you're scrolling in it. You're trolling in it. You're judging in it. You're trying to find out what Christy's doing, or Kay, or Kelly, or Stacy, or Cassie. You know, you're trying to find out what are they doing? What are they doing I'm not doing? And you go over there and you get confused, and you go over here instead of, this is really, Kay pointed out to me, I didn't even realize. She said, Mom, do you know that this year you were only home 2 weeks? I mean, she pointed that out to me. I didn't realize it because I had my head down and I'm going to work. Now, some of you could say, oh, I don't want to do that. Well, then readjust what you want. If you're not willing, I'm not saying you have to be out of your house every week. Thank goodness there's some tools that we have today that we didn't have in the past. But you know, I did want the millions. I did want the big income. I did want the big check. I did want the big company. I did want the hundreds of thousands of people coming in. I want that, and I continue to want that. I can continue to be inspired by that. So what we've got to do is really be honest. You can journal, you can say it out loud, you can tell everybody in the world, but if you're not backing it up with the action to really get focused and to have those power hours and power minutes and power days and power months and power years, then you're not going to get what you put on that vision board. You're just dreaming. So every day you should be is what I'm doing right here, right now, going to get me that? Now there's some habits that we're going to need to really look at. The habit of scrolling and trolling and ghosting. Ghosting's even bigger when you just don't show up for a couple days. I mean, you got to show up. You got to be consistent. You know, for 19 years, I've been on a 9 o'clock Monday call. I rarely missed that. I mean, that's a lot of Mondays. And then you show up when you say you're going to do something, because how you do anything is how you do everything. And if you miss one thing, I had a tremendous mentor, and he said, if you don't show up for that, then that might have been that one meeting might have been the meeting that was the connection to your rock star. And because you didn't show up or weren't consistent, that trail broke. And I've never forgotten that. Never forgotten that. So action is what is the catalyst. It's like when you put the wrap on, the wrap works through lipolysis. And we don't have a pump for lipolysis. Lipolysis in the body requires movement. So you have a heart that pumps the blood through your body. But lipolysis doesn't have a pump. It requires action. So if you put the wrap on, leave it on for 45 minutes, take it off, rub it in, then go take a walk. There is the pump that is the catalyst for the lipolysis. So if I put down that I want $30,000 a month, but I'm taking $3,000 a month actions, I'm going to get the 3. I don't care how much you journal and put out there. The whole world is based off of action, but it's not grinding. It's not gritting your teeth. It's not hard. It's in the flow. It's exhilarating. I can't wait to get up. It's like Christmas morning every day. You're bug-eyed. I mean, I couldn't wait to get up. I couldn't wait to see who I was going to talk to. I couldn't wait to see who was going to join my team. I couldn't wait to see what my check was going to be. And I celebrated it, and ran around the house honoring it, saying, I love this. I love this. It's growing. It's growing. It's growing. And then I took responsibility for the lack in my check. When did I stop doing the work? When did I stop believing? When did I allow all this to get in here, which caused me to slow down the engines? See, I truly believe, and this is probably going to throw you, you're not going to maybe understand this, but I'll try to explain it. I really believe that you can work less and make a lot more. So what does that mean? And what does that look like? See, I have been in the grind of work. I have been in where it wasn't fun. It was hard. And people were quitting, and people were nasty, and they weren't great team leaders. They were judgmental and negative, but so was I. I was like, why isn't anybody joining? Why is that other company growing? Look what we have and they don't have it. That is a negative state. And so I went to a workshop and I realized I was in a negative state, a state of lack, and a state of poverty, and a state of scarcity, a state of being scared, a state of fear, a state of, can I be a leader? Can I really handle this? All of this was going through. I was so lacking and so negative. I was getting all these lack and negative people. So nothing was going. And when I realized, you got this. You've got this. You'll learn every day. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. So I just said, my job is to wrap people. How silly is that? Your job is to put neck cream on people. Your job is to use products that grow out your hair. That you use products that help you look younger and feel more vibrant. To make income that you can get rid of your debt. To earn income that you can share with the world. To tell stories. I became a storyteller. I started, stories sell. Stories are what captivates the world. So I just got good at stories, and I would share them. And we were out yesterday or Sunday, we were shopping, and I said, oh my God, look at this. Look at this picture. Look at this picture. And the girl at the shop with Kay. And I said, she goes, what did it? I said, our new neck treatment cream. Oh my, really? How long? 2 hours. 2 hours. I mean, get excited about that. And so I knew that I just needed every day had to be the day. I didn't start projecting the week. I didn't know if tomorrow one of the kids would be sick. I didn't live in worry and fear any longer. I stepped into my power. I got up every day with the intention that it was going to be fabulous, and that whatever happened, happened. No's happened, yeses happened, maybes happened, get out of my face happened. All of it happened, but what didn't happen was me getting lost in confusion, me getting lost in guessing. I stayed focused, and I put my head down and I went to work in a very cool and relaxed way, a knowingness. Everything shifted. Everything shifted. It's almost like it happened overnight. I started working less because I wasn't in a worry work. I didn't have the negativity to deal with. I had the positivity. And even if the hours were actually longer, they felt shorter. The days felt more fun, more exciting, and the checks went through the roof. The customers went through the roof. The distributors started pouring in. So look at, what am I grinding my teeth? Am I nervous? Am I a worrier? When you don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow, you have no idea. So what if you spent today in judgment? What if you spent the day in being critical? Instead of, I got up, I took care of my family in a calm, relaxed way. I did the things that were necessary to be done in the house. And I got on that phone for several hours a day. And in the beginning, I took one night a week and did a meeting. And my business soared. And I duplicated that through my entire team. Because the last thing that I want are burnout mamas in this business. I don't want divorces. I don't want babies that later in life regret It Works Global because their mom was on the phone all the time. You don't have to be that mom. You duplicate ease and effort and simplicity through your team, and fun and generosity and being immensely grateful. Duplicate that through your team, and your whole team will change literally overnight. Because there are a lot of people looking at you saying, I don't want that. I don't want to grind like that. I don't want that. Show more of your lifestyle and what moms are looking for and dreaming for, and not on your phone all the time. Because we know you're not on your phone all the time. We know that. We are taking care of our families. We are having date nights. We are enjoying our girlfriends. So show all of it, and show that it is healthy and it is fun and it is worth it. But I really believe that if you will take focused action, and the action is what we get paid for, gathering customers and sponsoring distributors. That is your action. And then group everything else. Group the conversations. Utilize the tools like what we're using tonight. Get your mindset completely right. And when you start second guessing yourself, pull yourself in, get away from that, and live in that moment. And boy, when you're on, you've been on. You've had that hour where it felt like it was 8 and you got so much done. That's what I'm talking about. That's the hour I'm talking about, which could have stretched out through the day and very intense. And then you get in bed, you go, I got nothing done. I got nothing done today. And you look back over your day and it didn't feel good. None of it felt good. It felt stressed out. And so when you're sitting down with someone, like I was today in my home, I focused in on her. There was nuts going on around me. And nuts. Kay was here. She witnessed it. There was no room in the courtyard for one more car. It was insane what was going on today. I don't know what happened. And I just honed in and knew that all of that would take care of itself. And it did, instead of getting all caught up in that. Okay.
Okay.
We got time for one more.
Yes. Last question. Was there any moment that you can particularly remember when you really felt the shift in your mind, and really what happened to that for you to make that change? Like, do you remember because I can say, like, as your daughter, I remember thinking, what just happened to my mom?
Yeah.
Like, I remember like version 1 of Pam, and then I remember like version 2. And I remember the shift. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, like, I remember even Adam and I were like, who is this person? And it wasn't a bad thing. it was just, who is she? Because suddenly you had, like, I remember you had on the screen of your computer a red Lexus convertible, like, or it was a car, some version of a Lexus on your computer. And I'm like, all of a sudden your vision board mindset started shifting, and just the way that you wouldn't allow negativity in.
Yeah.
It was just this shift. And I was like a late teenager when that happened. And I told in the chat, right after that is when I remember It Works exploding. And I wasn't a part of our company yet. I wasn't until I was 21. So what was that? Because that was a very clear decision that you clearly made for yourself. That didn't happen to you. That's pretty intense.
It was when I went from being frightened to being fun. You know, I went to that workshop, Kay, in upstate New York. And it was 5 days, and it was T. Harv Eker, Millionaire Mindset. That's what it was. It was 5 days of a warrior camp. And I did physical things that I never thought possible. I walked on 35 feet of hot coals. And 35 feet, y'all, that's a long way. And I didn't get 1 cinch. It felt like I was flying across them. I let go of all negativity. I just let it go of all, these were negative thoughts that I had about my worthiness. I let it go. It was, why am I thinking that about me? I really questioned it, but it happened over a period of those days. And so you know, you're not going to go to that camp. That camp no longer exists. You're not going to go walk on 35 feet of hot coals. It wasn't just that. It was a frightened woman that went in, and a fun woman full of hope and desire and knowingness that came out. And it just, everything about me shifted, and it stayed. It has stayed with me. Now, there have been moments when I've had to question things, new states of growth, work through new money mindset, new money blueprints. They're definitely, I mean, you just don't have it and you're free for the rest of your life, like it's the Holy Grail. There is still pivotal moments that you've got to work. But for me, I just left it all behind. I just walked out of it. It's like my whole energy shifted. Everybody knew it. Everybody knew something happened. Everyone. And it's like something also my dad said to me one time. I'd just gotten married, and a couple months went by, and he goes, "You're just not fun anymore." And I said, "What do you mean, Dad?" He goes, "You're just taking this married thing too seriously." And I went, "Oh my God, I thought I had to be married. You know, you got to show up a certain way, you're married." And I realized that's not who Dave married. He didn't marry that person. I'm like, I dropped all of it then too, just like that persona. You know, sometimes we have this persona about us that we don't even realize. And I think that mine was, I just thought I was too good for it. I think that I thought, you're just above this networking thing. You know, you just, like, I was raised in this culture that you had to go to college and you went to work, you worked for IBM, and you know, that was prestigious. And now, like Sherry Lynn, you're over in the corner and you're barely whispering what you do, when suddenly I got loud. And I think that's what Kay noticed. I just got loud and proud and honored the industry and the company and the product. And then I fell in love, so in love with the rap, and thankful for it. And I said, you have given me this product to carry to market. I'm going to do it. I'm going to carry this product to market. And so you all have been given this opportunity. It showed up right when it was supposed to in front of you. And so honor it. Be supportive of it. Appreciate it. Talk great about it. And then take the opportunity as well. See, I've never been embarrassed to share the opportunity. Everyone out there is looking for more. I love that word that Mark spoke over us at Costa Rica. And a lot, I said during my talk on Saturday, some of you have a problem with that word because you think it's greedy. I think it's greedy when you hold back. I think it's greedy when you don't tell the mom at Target who has 4 kids in her cart and she's wondering if she can pay. You're hoarding information. You're hoarding your opportunity. You're hoarding your products. My girlfriends laugh at me because they go, you always say, I have a product for that. I said, because I do. Well, I've got this. Well, I have a product for that. And then I wait if they want to know more. And if they don't, I just keep moving on. But Kay's heard me say that 1,000 times. Oh, I do it all the time still. I have a product for that. I have a product for that. Because we do. We have a product for everything. We have a product for everything. And that's how I feel. That is the difference. That was the difference. I walked out of being frightened and up my tail into honorable, excited, fun, exuberant, and a woman that gets it done. Because, hey, I have kids now that are older, a daughter that's a part of this. You will too. Do you want her to see a frightened mother? A mother that thinks she's too good? We're not too good for anything. You know, nothing. We should be so proud of who we are and what we do. And because we're cutting edge. When you think about it, what are we hearing about now? Brand and ambassadors, influencers. Now it's all micro influencers, which every single one of you. Do you know what companies are spending most of their advertising resources on right now? Trying to find you. They spend the 51% of their marketing dollars trying to find you, a micro influencer. Think about it. And then they pay you to influence your market with their products. That's what they're looking for right now. 51% of their advertising dollar is spent looking for a micro influencer. And so every moment of your day should be spent looking for a micro influencer. That's who you are. So 51% of your time should be that or more, looking for a micro influencer, someone that wants to join your team. And look, you be proud of that $99, and you be proud of that auto shipment. I love the auto shipment. That locks in the comp plan for you. Be proud of that. That's part of the marketing plan. It's brilliant. And so talk about it in a brilliant way. Like there's no option here. This is what we do. We're setting you up for success. So there's the difference. Then came the money. Then came the house, the trips that we took, all the Christmases that changed. Yeah. And it's never stopped. It just continues to grow and continues to build.
Yeah. And it's, I think when I look at tonight, I wanted to ask you, are you complete on the word acceleration tonight with your explanation of that?
Do you want me to explain it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So a lot of you have come to me and you do want more and you feel stuck. You feel like your team is not growing, that the business is not growing. So I felt that I needed a word for the company. Mark has his word, it's more. Mine is accelerate. I want this to happen quickly. Quickly. I mean, nanoseconds. We're all ready. You're trained. You're good. Our leadership is pristine. It is the exact leadership that we have always valued and looked for. It's in place. Our products are there. The look is there. The compensation plan, revitalized, cutting edge, new and improved. Connect is there. There are other things that are coming that are huge. You're going to see it change and evolve and grow, but it doesn't need to do any of that for you to accelerate. So deep within me, that word is now here. It's relative. It's there. So we're going to see this happen. We're going to see an acceleration quickly within It Works and within your business. So that's what that means. Now, that is the opposite of that is stagnant, is stuck. And I believe that we were there. I look at it, but I will also look at it from a business perspective of fine-tuning, getting the systems better, getting the products updated. If you're trying to do that while you're growing astronomically, it's difficult. It can shut all systems down. So I really believe in the core of my being that our word as a company is more, but it's also now, an acceleration now. So what does that mean? That means you put down and go to work. You just focus in. Don't try to guess what to do. Just do. Just take action. When it feels right, take action. When it doesn't feel right, stop it and go back and do something that feels right. Don't try to second guess yourself or wonder if you're good. You know what? You just get better and better and better and better. I've never felt like I had to change. I just felt like that would happen through growth. Like if I stop and read and try to get better, I'm slowing the engine down. Get better as you go. If you feel like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, then don't say it again. Oh, I should have done this different, then do it different. And don't stay back in the guilt, in the remorse, in the thinking of it. Look, we all do stupid stuff. We all are here to gain wisdom. And that's it. So let's accelerate. Let's accelerate our businesses. Let's feel that within the deepness of our being and decide that you're ready for this. I mean, every single one of you, do not deny it. You want more. And you want it now. You don't want it in 2021 or 20. You want it now. We're ready. Let's show the world who It Works is. Let's show everyone that's left, everyone that's thought about us, everyone that has cared about us, everyone that has actually loved us. Let's show them who we are. That's what I want to do. I want to show the world who we are. And we're big. We're really big. We are so big. We're huge. We're big. We're that big. We're so big, we're big. We're the biggest company in the world. That's who we are. That's who we are. Bill Gates, you've seen nothing. 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 Who's ready to go make millions? I know I am. I am. I am that I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Oh, you're so good at
I
that.
hope none of y'all sleep tonight. None of you sleep. I hope you have these huge dreams. Don't second guess yourselves. Come on. Come on, team. Seriously. Gosh. Yeah. Oh, I can feel it. I can feel it. Can y'all feel it? Man, I can feel it. Y'all like my Christmas hat? It's my favorite. I got one last funny story. So I bought these Christmas hats. I took Kay and my friend Laura and her daughter on Laura's 50th birthday to New York City. And I bought these hats at CVS. I mean, really, $8.99 a piece. So I show up and I always give like a little, we call them a scarcity bag, you know, a bag. And I had a couple favorite things and I had a hat in each bag. Well, Kay and Cece took their hats out. I'm not wearing that in New York City. So Laura and I, the next morning, we get up and we put our little hat on. And everywhere we went in New York, where'd y'all get that hat? I got to get that hat. I got to have that hat. Well, we ran into these two women in New York City, and they asked us, and I said, well, we got them at CVS. And they have them here in New York. Now, we're in the city. We're in Manhattan when we ran into these women. So then we go to Soho the next night, and it's like dark, and we're catching an Uber to go back to the city. And here come those two women in a rickshaw coming down in the snow with their hats on. And they said, hey, we found the hats. And we just started going like this. How could we possibly run into these same two women about the hats? That is my life, and I am accelerating more of those happenings throughout 2020. True story, is it not, Kay? That is crazy.
So many of those stories. Cannot thank you enough. Thank you to all of the amazing leadership that were on tonight and put this together and asked these amazing questions. You brought the fire tonight, Mom. That was so much fun. Thank you.
Oh, it was. All right, everybody, if I don't get to see you again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. It's a year of acceleration, and I'm so proud of all of you. I truly, truly am. You're amazing leadership. A lot of you are up and coming. I'm so looking forward to getting to know you. It's just going to be a phenomenal year. I mean, we're just going to look back on this and say, wow, what a year 2020 was. It was incredible. So, good night, everybody.
Night.